Penguin Random House Audio presents Influenced, the Impact of Social Media on Our Perception. Forward by Tony Yoon, MD. Read by Raymond J. Lee. This is the author, Brian Boxer Wachler, MD. To my twin daughters, Jordana and Michaela, a.k.a. Michaela and Jordana. I hope no one feels slighted now. This book wouldn't exist if it hadn't been for your suggestion that I dive into the TikTok pool during the COVID-19 pandemic when my practice and life slowed down. You guided me as I found my voice, style, and wigs on the platform. Influenced is also dedicated to the memory of Professor Tom Miller, my UCLA speech and debate coach, who taught me the importance of critical thinking and weighing both sides in the search for the truth. Influence may be the highest level of human skills. Unknown. Often we don't realize that our attitude towards something has been influenced by the number of times we've been exposed to it in the past. Robert B. Cialdini, Ph.D., author of Influence. I'm not trying to influence anyone else. Kim Kardashian.
Forward. I'm a social media influencer with millions of followers across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm a board-certified plastic surgeon. I first met Brian because, well, I really didn't have a choice in the matter. If that piqued your curiosity, then you can appreciate how Brian got my attention. On TikTok, there was a viral Dr. Bruh Chain video series. That's where someone bops their head to a song and turns to the camera and lip-syncs bruh on cue. It was a fun trend. This is how it worked. After someone did a reaction video, the next doctor in line performed a reaction video, and so on, like dominoes. I remember that day. I was busy in my office seeing patients, and my followers started notifying, tagging me since I was next in line to do a video response. My phone kept blowing up from people repeatedly tagging me to fulfill my duty because I was in the batter's box. I wondered, how'd this whole Dr. Bruh Chain thing start? I looked back in the video sequences to see who had made the first video and tagged all the doctors to be in the chain. It was Brian. And, of course, I had fun playing my part. Since then, I've observed Brian's meteoric rise on TikTok, a feat I've seen few other people do in mere months. I witnessed how he creatively adopted his own style of addressing health-related videos on the platform as either true or false, known as cap in Gen Zs. Whereas everyone was using the word cap and the blue emoji of a cap in videos to call out false information, Brian took it to the next level. He bought an actual royal blue cap, same color as the emoji cap, and taped a piece of white rectangular paper on the front and emblazoned it with a Sharpie, C-A-P. That was how he started what would become iconic for him across social media platforms, Brian and that blue cap. It was fun and catchy, but, more important, he used it to address a pandemic on social media, false information. The social media apps don't have a fact police before a video gets cleared for viral takeoff. Brian threw himself into the role of being a doctor who researches any topic in a video and responds with the power of not saying a single word, only putting on his blue cap hat at the video's end, denoting its false information. Over time, people trusted him as a credible source. Now viewers eagerly watch his videos, not knowing his response until the end, like the townsfolk anxiously wringing their hands around the groundhog hole to see whether Punxsutawney Phil will come out, signifying that spring will soon arrive. Brian understands the power of social media, and also that his video technique can save thousands, perhaps millions, of people from trying or buying something that, at best, won't have any health benefits or, at worst, could cause them harm. Alternatively, if he says something is not cap, you can be confident that video information is true. As you probably can sense, Brian has a rare combination of curiosity, creativity, analytical skills, work ethic, caring, experience, and devotion to public service. These are the reasons that Brian is the perfect person to write Influenced, the most comprehensive, nothing held back book on social media. Have you ever found yourself scrolling and scrolling, watching one video after another, only to suddenly realize that 1 or 2 hours have flown by? Are you constantly interrupting what you're doing to check your phone because of the ding, buzz, or vibration alerts? Do you check your social media first thing when you wake up? And is it the last thing you look at before you go to bed? Do you start to feel anxious if you haven't checked your social media feeds in a bit? These aren't coincidences. This result is by design, as Influenced unearths. Social media provides endless amounts of information and entertainment for us to consume. It's a powerful outlet for creative expression, and it connects us with others. Yet, there is a dark side of social media. Whether you're 1. A concerned parent wanting to know whether your child has a healthy relationship with social media. 2. A researcher who wants to understand how social media affects our perceptions and brains. Or 3. Someone who aspires to become an influencer. Influenced covers it all, including interviews with many other influencers who, for the first time ever, share their experiences, the good and the bad. Influenced will help you understand how social media affects the ways our brains perceive and process information, how the apps determine what information we see, how to know whether an influencer is being paid for a post, how influencers affect children and teens differently than adults, how to determine whether you're addicted to social media and what to do about it, how social media positively or negatively affects our mental and physical health, whether we can make independent decisions without social media influence, what the role of sex workers on social media is, what effect shaming has on children and adults, how you can become an influencer, and what the future of social media looks like. This book pulls the curtain back on these topics and so much more. Influenced is a gripping reveal about the positives of social media as well as its underbelly. In these pages, Brian has impressively and beautifully curated insider information from influencers, including himself, and from other sources that no one else could do. The inner sanctum insights in this book can't be found elsewhere in any one place. After reading Influenced, you will come away feeling refreshed and confident with life-changing, powerful knowledge about social media and how to successfully manage life with it, since the social media air is only going to get thicker. I chose to write this forward because Influenced is an important book that we all need to read. This book is a game changer for everyone with any interest in this topic. I predict it will be referenced for years to come. Influenced is the book on social media, and you are about to take the ride of your life with it. Just like Brian's videos, you won't be able to turn away from Influenced until you've finished. And then you'll start reading it again. It's that type of book. Enjoy. Tony Yoon, MD.
Prologue. Confessions of an Influencer. We mock the things we are to be. Mel Brooks. I have a confession to make. Actually, I have 3 confessions to make. First, I admit that I was not a full-fledged influencer when I began this project. I had a respectable platform consisting of many social media friends, followers, and fans, and had a great deal of media exposure, but I was not any closer to the level of a true influencer. Second, in February 2020, when I made a deliberate attempt to engage with people on TikTok, I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?